whatever those reasons may be, just make sure that you're dating and you want to be with that person rather than being with someone. Subscribe. Bad gang, welcome back. You guys know what time it is. It's time to react. Welcome to your one-stop shop of all things reactions. So basically, I came across this video that I thought would be very interesting to listen to and then dissect. The video is entitled "Dating Women Made Me Understand Men." A woman by the name of Anna Akana is probably Akana, right? Anna Akana. I want to see what she's gonna say. I want to see. All right. Without further ado, we're gonna get right into the video.
So as you may remember, I came out as bisexual last year. And since then, I have been dating women. And what I found very fascinating is that the more I date women, the more I find myself understanding heterosexual men. Let me explain. Exhibit A. I was on a first date with a girl who asked me out, by the way, this is relevant, because when the check came, she never once made a move to pay. Not even like the fake, let me reach for my purse move. And though I don't mind paying on a date, part of me felt like, the offer would have been nice. I was also a little taken aback that she didn't even say thank you. And I never heard from her again. It really...
Okay. So we all know that's like a social norm, right, for men to pay for dates. I would pay for a date. If I ask you out, I'm gonna pay for a date. If you ask me out and we're having a good time, I'm gonna pay for a date. But the thing is, men don't feel obligated. If the date goes terrible, I don't feel obligated to pay for the date. I think that my willingness to pay for a date is totally based on whether or not this is a good interaction. If I'm here giving you questions, asking, trying to get to know you a little bit better, and you're giving me one-word answers and you're just like a brick wall, just bouncing the questions back. Oh, how was your day? Oh, what's your favorite type of food? Oh, what's your, thoughts on religion? And you're just like giving the questions back to me, and not being, not asking your own questions. I'm gonna be like, either I'm not gonna pay for it, but yeah, I've heard women who have said, hey, you asked me out, so you have to pay. Yeah, the man asked you out, sure, but you said yes. So that's indication, it should be indication, right? That you're both interested in getting to know one another. Therefore, it's an equal transaction of interest. But they be acting like you paying for their time, which is not right because that is called escorting. No, I'm just kidding. Getting back into the video.
Made me feel like she just asked me out so she could have a free dinner. And the moment I thought that, I was like, oh my God, I sound like all of my guy friends right now. And my argument against why guys should pay for dates has always been like, look, girls take hours to get ready. Our investment is looking really nice for you. Makeup, clothes, that costs money too. But we were both girls in this situation. We both took hours to get ready, so I definitely felt slighted. Exhibit B.
Hold on. Do we not take hours? Okay, we don't take hours, but we can look fly. Not me, because I don't really dress up like that. But some men be looking fly for dates, you feel me? That costs money, it don't take hours. Most likely because we don't do our hair and makeup. Some guys do their hair, and some guys may do their makeup too. No judgment here. I kind of get what she's saying. But again, that's nice and all. The whole like, oh, you're taking hours to get ready, and that means you're interested. That means you're interested, right? A little bit. But again, the conversation has to be A1. The conversation has to be there. Like, you have to be there with me.
On another date, I went back to a girl's house and I ended up making friends with her cat. That's not a pun. I'm talking about her literal, actual animal. And she said, wow,
that's funny.
My cat never likes anyone. I better go out and buy a wedding dress. And again, I felt like I got some serious perspective. I have been guilty of making these kinds of jokes on dates with men. I never really thought anything of it. I was just being silly. But then when I was on the receiving end of it, I suddenly understood the panic. And finally, Exhibit C. One girl invited me back into her house, and her...
I don't think, personally, that's not a panic for me. If a girl were to say, like, hey, we should get married, like, I'm just gonna be like, like, okay, like, that doesn't mean that you're actually interested, She's probably just making a joke. But even if you were seriously interested, who knows? If the day went well, we'll make our way there. I'm not just gonna be like, this was a good day, but you talking about marriage already? You making jokes about it? That makes me uncomfortable. No, like, that's not a thing for me, but I know it's a thing for some people.
Specific words were, "Do you want to come in and make out?" Obviously, I'm like, "Yeah, you're really pretty. I want to press my face to yours." But then when we got there, we both just sat on the couch and she talked till like 3 a.m. And I was like, "Yo, girl, I gotta wake up at like 6 a.m. I was told there would be kisses here. There are no kisses." And like,
yeah, guys can't be that. Guys can't be that well, you can't be that upfront and forward. Yeah, that's kind of funny, kind of weird.
look, I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, I don't mind talking. I love talking. But she could have said, "Do you want to come in and just talk?" And I would have had totally different expectations for the evening. You know, finally I started falling asleep and I was like, "Hey, I gotta go." And I gave her one kiss and left. And I felt sad that the amount of kisses promised did not equal.
So, okay, I get what she's getting at in this video, but as a woman, she has to understand that that woman could have probably been used to other people making the moves on her rather than vice versa, right? Even though she did say, "Hey, you want to come in here and make out?" Like, you would think if she's bold enough to do that, she would definitely initiate. But girl, you could have initiated too. That's fine.
The amount of kisses delivered, and once again, I felt like a dude who was upset that I did not receive the expected physical kisses I was promised. And I wanted to talk about this because I felt like this has really been expanding my perspective when it comes to dating. I finally understand a lot of the complaints my male friends have about dating that I admit I would usually dismiss. But now I really get it when they say, "Dating is just so expensive, man."
Sometimes I feel like a girl doesn't even like me for me. She just wants like a boyfriend.
Wow. So I guess I never conceptualized this or like heard it from another person, but I've said it to myself and I've thought it. Yeah, that's definitely how I see some women nowadays. Some women I feel like are so tied to this belief that they have to have someone. It may not even be their fault because society says from a young age that women have to, you know, they're a princess, you gotta find your prince, you know, you're gonna get married, you gotta take care of babies. And that's like very stressful, number one, for a kid, for a woman, for a young girl. And then you grow up with these expectations like, oh, you gotta get married young. If you don't, then, you know, your value lessens. And that's not the case at all. Just because you have that expectation, that social expectation, because you don't have to accept that for yourself, which some women aren't. I love the fact this new age woman that's expanding their, I guess, values and beliefs. Like, they're not just getting married because they feel like they gotta get married. They're getting married when they want to. They're focusing on businesses. They're doing their own thing, and I love that. Because some women literally just date because they feel like, oh, I have nobody here, or it's the right thing to do. I'm supposed to be with someone, right? And that's not a valid reason to date in my eyes. That's not something that's gonna amount to something substantial personally, because if you're more interested in being in a relationship than being in a relationship with that person, that specific person, then it's not gonna work. So make sure you're dating for the right reasons. Whatever those reasons may be, just make sure that you're dating and you want to be with that person rather than being with someone, right?
I wish it were more socially expected to go Dutch on the first few dates, but you're like a jerk if you even suggest it. And any experience that expands your compassion and understanding is one that I think is worthy of sharing. So what about you? Have you had any experiences that have shifted your viewpoint dramatically? Let me know.
Okay, so that was the video. I like the question that she posed. Have you experienced something dramatic that has changed your viewpoint on relationships and dating? I am gonna not answer that. No, I'm just kidding. I want you guys to seriously answer it down in the comments below. I want to hear you guys' perspectives and what has changed or molded you into the person that you are today in regards to like dating. I would say for me, it would be to be self-aware. I've talked about this in many of my videos. Being self-aware is probably the most important key aspect to not only living a happy life with another person, but living a happy life in general. Having a successful and healthy relationship with your family, at work, with your friends, and obviously with your spouse, right? Being self-aware, understanding your wants and needs, and understanding that another person on the other side of you has wants and needs that they want fulfilled as well within that relationship. Again, whether it be at home, at work, whatever. It's supposed to be a mutual bond, a mutual agreement, a mutual transaction of satisfaction, with those wants and needs. Thank you guys again for staying to the end of the video. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And that's all I have for you guys today. All right, peace. Peace back, gang.
When I
Subscribe.